Hello there, it is I, Nia Guest, back with another video. It's a book tier list. Yeah, I've been wanting to do one of these for a while because of my strong opinions about book to movie adaptations. So, yeah. Before we get started, I know the question you're asking, and my answer is no, I don't know why my hair looks like this. Here, let me show you the full. I don't know why it got big today, but you know what? So, let's get started. I should probably tell you my tier list, like, what the tiers are. So, my top tier is Harry Potter, because I think the Harry Potter movies are some of the best book-to-movie adaptations out there. My second one is You've Got the Right Idea, meaning it's almost there, but not quite. I can kind of tell what the book was, it's gone more into the range of they took inspiration from the book than it being based on the book. Next is Okay, You've Lost Me, where I've lost all connection to the original source material and how we got to this point. And finally is, when I say the name, you're gonna know, it's Percy Jackson. It's Percy Jackson. If it's a bad movie with not great connections to the original and they change the entire plot to fit what they wanted to do with it, that's a Percy Jackson level movie. So, starting off with a bang, let's go with Disney Plus's Artemis Fowl.
We want to know everything about the man you work for. The man.
Oh, what can I say about this movie that has not already been said? It's terrible. It's just not even from a non-book related standard. I'll get to that in a second. It's just not a great movie. It makes no sense. From a book reader standard, I love this series. When I was in middle school, I had an Artemis Fowl phase. I read through the entire book series multiple times. They're so good, and they completely changed his character. It's just everything about the movie doesn't fit in with the original source material, and they worked on it for years, like multiple years. So, anyway, Artemis Fowl is clearly going into the Percy Jackson category. Next is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I, Willy Wonka, have decided to allow 5 children to visit my factory.
And I should probably point out that I'm using, if there are multiple versions of this movie, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, there's the older, 80s or 90s one. So I'm doing the newer one because that's the one that I saw when during my lifespan, that's the one I grew up watching. So Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the one with black hair, big hat, that guy. So I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really good. It's a little darker than the original, but it's not so dark that you feel like you're watching a horror film. It's really good. And I think I'm going to put it in the Harry Potter category. They didn't really change a lot. It's just straight over adaptation. It was really good. Next is Divergent.
100 years ago, after the war, our founders created a system they believed would create lasting peace.
Which the last few movies in the series apparently took quite a nosedive. But from what I remember about the first one, it was pretty decent. It had the right ideas, it was based on the book, they had the factions and all that sort of stuff. The character, she matched the character in the book. I don't really like the character in the book, but that's for another day. Another day, another book review. But anyway, I think it was a good adaptation. I'm gonna put that one right into the You've Got the Right Idea category. It's got the essence, it ain't great, it ain't terrible, it's a movie. Alright, this one I haven't seen, but I actually didn't even know this movie existed until I was looking it up. Fahrenheit 451.
Now, have any of you guys ever seen one of these bad things for real?
There was a 2017 or 2018 adaptation. I think Michael B. Jordan is in it. If I got that name wrong, I'll just cut it from the video. I watched the trailer and read comments about it and reviews, and from what I can tell, I don't think it's a terrible movie. The trailer seemed like it was a good, thriller, kind of sci-fi thriller, but it just didn't seem like it had the right idea behind it. Fahrenheit 451, I've reviewed that already. You should go check that out to get my take on it. But Fahrenheit 451, it's a really, deep commentary on the originality of thought and censorship and stuff like that. So it kind of cheapened it and made it into a little thriller. So it was okay, but I'm gonna have to put that one into the I can kind of tell what the book was category. It's got the same character, it's got the same idea behind it. The firefighters, they don't stop fires, they start fires, yada yada. But it wasn't quite right. Next, this one is quite obvious what category it will be going into. It is going into the Harry Potter category because it is, in fact, Harry Potter. I really enjoyed these movies as adaptations and just like as movies. I think many people watch the movies and don't read the books and they know what's going on, which I think is a testament to how good of adaptations they are. I was really into Harry Potter. I went through that phase too, and I really enjoyed them. And yeah, the books are great. The movies, they did as much as they could with special effects, and it was really awesome. If they couldn't fit something in, they just didn't try to do it. They didn't like half do it and say that it was like a new part of the world or something. I also think that J.K. Rowling was actually a part of writing and directing the sorry, I got really fancy there, the movies, and so I think that might have been a good part of why they were so good. So I'm clearly putting this one directly into the Harry Potter category. Next is going to be The Hunger Games.
Volunteer! I volunteer as tribute!
I got a little skew of dystopian ones, so yeah. Hunger Games. I really like the books. The movies, they're kind of gory and dark for me, but I watched them and I liked them kind of, but they were also really scary because I'm a wimp when it comes to that sort of stuff. So, I don't know. They were good. They were very accurate from what I can tell. There wasn't very much they changed. If they did change it, it was because it was out of necessity, because they couldn't do that in a movie. So I'm going to put that one into the Harry Potter category. It was a good adaptation. I have my own qualms with a lot of these Divergent, like, leading lady characters. There's tends to be a trend of having very flat characters who are not like other girls, but that's just my stance, and I may get into that in another video, but that's not for right now. Alright, next, another dystopian one is The Maze Runner.
Can you tell me your name?
I can't remember anything.
I have heard that the first movie was really good. My family watched it. I did not because I am, as I mentioned, I'm a wimp and it scares me. So they really liked the first one, and they also watched, like, I think there's one or two other ones. Maybe do more research. But they said the first one was really good. The other ones were absolutely terrible. They changed everything and it was just terrible. It seems like the character designs are really good for what the actual descriptions are in the book. I read Maze Runner and stuff too. I have read all these books though, I will say. I maybe haven't seen 100% of all the movies, but I have read all the books. Maze Runner, I would put that one into the You've Got the Right Idea category, just because of how terrible the other movies were. Movies. Next one, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Macomb was a tired old town, even in 1932 when I first knew it.
This one, I read the movie in my 9th grade language arts class, and then we watched the movie afterward, and honestly, nothing bad I can say about this. It's literally like a straight book to film adaptation. There are quotes taken from the book. Like, it's almost, you can read line for line what's going on in the movie from the book. It's really good. There was this one scene that kind of scared my class, and I'll put it over here now. It's like, you open the door and Boo Radley's just kind of standing behind the door creepily, and it's scary, like a jump scare, but like, sorry, just kind of defeated the whole purpose of what the book was trying to say. But anyway, it was just a jump scare and we weren't ready for it. But it's a really good movie. That one is going directly into the Harry Potter category just because it's good. Next, this one, I have mixed feelings about this one. In terms of being a book to movie adaptation, it was terrible. Just being like a movie, it was okay. So, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. And it took me a lot to figure out how to say peculiar. As you can see, I have to use my hands to figure out how to say it. So, I watched the movie, and then I read the book, and then I rewatched the movie, and just watching the movie, it was like kind of a dark horror fantasy kind of thing, and I thought it was really good for that. Then I read the book and realized it was way different than what the movie was, and I really liked the book too. They just seem like two separate entities, which I think is like an overarching theme in some of these book to movie adaptations. Like, it would be really good as just a movie, but there's the book attached to it, so you have to have both. I am going to put this one into the Okay, You've Lost Me category because it's not terrible. Yeah, they switched characters and that was weird, and they like changed a lot of the plot halfway through, but as a movie, it wasn't bad. As a book to movie, it was really bad. but the movie itself, not terrible. Alright, this next one is very clearly going to go in the Percy Jackson category because it is, in fact, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. This movie, I watched it when it first came out. I have the first one and the second one on DVD, if that tells you how much of a Percy Jackson fan I was/am, and it disappointed me. It's just, the first movie doesn't fit with the actual plot. They aged the characters up. It was to like reach for their audiences. Weird. They changed crucial parts of the plot, like the prophecy. They shared the prophecy in the first movie. It's just, none of it was right, and the second movie went worse. So I'm gonna put this one into the Percy Jackson category. Yeah. Next one, I've mentioned this one briefly in another book review I did, Ready Player One.
Nowhere. Except the Oasis.
You guys should go watch that book review because I say a lot of things on that book that I do still stand by. Although I do think I was a little harsh on the movie. It's not a terrible movie. It's in the same range as Miss Peregrines. It's not a terrible movie by itself. It may be a little like pushy in terms of all the characters that are in it, but it's not terrible. When compared to the book, however, it's terrible. So I'm gonna put that one in the same category as Peculiar Children just because they changed the plot a lot and it just didn't match together, but it wasn't a terrible movie. I think it's a pretty decent one. It's funny, it's a little too language heavy for me, but that's just my personal preference, and I just thought it was really good. Next is, okay, I really don't know how well known this movie is. I'm pretty sure it's pretty popular, but it's kind of old. A Series of Unfortunate Events, the movie.
This is the story of the three Baudelaire children.
Not the TV series, the Netflix series. I have watched both. I thought both were really good in like two different ways. But I'm gonna rate the movie, not the TV show, because I'm not doing TV shows today. And I thought that the movie was really good. That's what I grew up watching. So, it is with Jim Carrey, who's an excellent Count Olaf, whereas Neil Patrick Harris, he does a very good Count Olaf as well. They're just different. Jim Carrey is a little bit darker and crazier and like meaner. Neil Patrick Harris is a little goofier. He still has the darkness that Count Olaf is supposed to, but like it's a little bit more, you don't feel like you're scared watching it, I guess would be the way I would say it. So I think that the movie is very accurate. They put the first three books, Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, and The Wide Window, all into one movie, and I wish that they had been able to do all of them because they did really well on this one. So I'm gonna put this one in the Harry Potter category. It's really accurate. I thought the characters were great. Everyone looked the way they were supposed to. It was appropriately dark for what the books are. Next, if you have taken an 8th grade language arts class, then you should have read this book, and it is The Giver.
From great suffering, great pain, came a solution. Communities.
So, The Giver, I really enjoyed the book. It's just, I kind of equate it to like City of Lights. I think that's what it was. The book with like the light bulb on the cover. I'll put that on the screen. I like the book. My teacher, she showed our class the like movie after we read the book in class, and it's way different. They did the same thing Percy Jackson did and tried to age up the characters to do like a romantic thing between two of the characters, and it was just weird. It wasn't a great movie, I don't think. It's just, I'm gonna have to put it in the Percy Jackson category simply because they changed so much and made the plot kind of far-fetched, and it was just kind of weird. The setting was good. I liked how they like dulled the colors to match with what the book is. You kind of go along with Jonas, that's his name, his character as he goes along in his discovery of things. Not gonna give too much away. Might do a future book review on that. Who knows? Let me know if you want that. So yeah, that one, Percy Jackson category. Next is going to be Twilight.
You're impossibly fast and strong.
A book and movie that the internet has torn to pieces and is now getting back into. Twilight, yeah. I was really into them. I went through a lot of book phases, if you're gonna figure that out through, yeah. I went through Twilight, Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, all of them. The Twilight books were good when I read them. Reading back through them, they're fun to read, but they're like really, okay, despite, I know that the books are really thick. Like, that's a thick book. But they're not that difficult to read. They're little, light romance vampire novels. They're not difficult. They're not the most eloquent of writing. In fact, I would call it a little bland in its writing style, but they're, you know, they're romance novels. They're not supposed to be excellent levels of literature unless you're considering, like, famous romance authors, but we're not talking about them. So, the movies, they were just like the books, a little bland, a little dark. It was just, it's a vampire romance. I'm gonna keep saying that. It's a vampire romance. It's not the best, it's not the worst. I'm gonna put that into the You've Got the Right Idea because it was accurate. It was just, I didn't like the movies or the, like, movies or the books for, like, excitement or, yeah, I like exciting stuff like that, and it was just a little boring. Also, I don't like the main character. She's Bella Swan. Okay, next. This one might be a little bit controversial. I don't know. I really like this. Wonder is the movie/book.
My name is Augie Pullman. Next week, I start 5th grade.
I really enjoyed the book. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really accurate, but then looking it up, a lot of people disagreed with that opinion and thought that it was kind of not right. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really accurate. All the actors in it, I really enjoyed. They did really, really well in their roles, and yeah, they played their characters correctly. There are multiple quotes you can take straight from the book that were in the movie, so I am going to put that one into the Harry Potter category. It's just, I really liked it, and it was great. Next, moving right along, we are in our last two. This one, I watched this one in theaters, and I'll say it's not terrible, but it is sure as heck ain't great. So, A Wrinkle in Time.
What if we are here for a reason?
Is our next one, and it's not the book in the slightest. It shares the same name, and it is not the right one. I'm talking about, like, the 2017 one, by the way, not the, like, 1990s one. Maybe earlier, I'm not sure. It was okay. It didn't match the plot at all, and So I'm gonna put that one into the okay, you've lost me category. Characters' names were the same. The, like, fact that her dad disappeared was the same, but other than that, it all changed. Our last book movie is Fault in Our Stars.
I believe we have a choice in this world about how to tell sad stories.
I am pretty sure I've seen this movie. Not entirely sure though. If not, Tumblr has plenty on it, so that should be enough to get me through this rating. The book, I went through the John Green phase too, and then I look back and it's realized that every single one of his books is basically the same. It's two sarcastic main characters. One of them's really quirky. They either are both really sick, or one disappears, or one dies, and the other character has to go through a journey to figure out who they are, and yada yada yada. So anyway, Fault in Our Stars, I liked it. The book is really sarcastic, and it takes itself a little too seriously, I think. And from what I remember, I think the movie it drains a little bit of that. And takes itself too seriously too. So I'm gonna put this one into the I can kind of tell what the book was, because a lot of what made the book what it was is how sharp the characters were, and like kind of the idea of where they were. The plot's the same, the characters are the same, and all that stuff, but like the personality was kind of drained from it. So I would say that's why I'm putting that one in the I can kind of tell what the book was category. So I think that should be all of them. And yeah, if you would like to share your opinions on any of these or different ones that I just haven't rated, let me know in the comments down there. I really enjoy reading what you guys think about these kind of books, movies, and how you would rate them. And if you disagree with me, let me know, because I love reading other people's opinions. So let me know if I should change anything, or thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, follow my social. There's only one. And yeah, I think that'll just be it. So I will see you all in the next one, whenever that is. Toodles!